Amber Ross, author.
What inspired you to start playing hockey?
So I started playing, well, late considering kids these days. But at the time in Minnesota for girls, it wasn't that late. I was about 15 when I started playing hockey, actually. But to be perfectly honest, my twin sister and I really wanted to play because we liked the Mighty Ducks movie, and there was like more girls playing hockey in Minnesota at the time, so that's how we got into it. I actually was able to play in college and at a Division III school, and then I have three kids who all play hockey, and I actually coach two of them. I have never coached my son, but I've coached my two daughters, and so I actually one day was talking with a friend who um, owns his own publishing company and had been looking for someone to write a book for beginning hockey players and had thought about me to do that. And so that's sort of how it all started. He wanted something for kids that to help sort of ease their fears on the first time, coming out on the ice.
So when I was looking at the book, a lot of the other characters in the book, there's a lot of inclusion there. So how important is it, to of all people make them not nervous about the game?
Yeah, that was, and I'm glad that you noticed that. It was important to me to not only show girls but different, races. Um, and with that, like, I've coached both of my girls starting, on their first hockey team, so I know not only them but what the other kids, were nervous about when they stepped out on the ice, and so and also what we try to do as coaches in that regard. So I know I definitely wanted to spread in there about how you're gonna fall. Everybody falls. It's all that matters is that you get back up. And I also really push. There's a thread in there about when they're playing sharks and minnows, and you know John, the publisher, was like, I don't know if we need to do that. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Every team does that. Like, it's a fun way to like work your edges and all that. And the funny thing is I've read this to a couple groups of kids, and even kids that don't play hockey, like, oh, we play that in soccer, and so it's a very relatable type of game to get kids, interacting and moving, and also just working their skill.
What are some of the things you've learned from all your kids, you know, hockey and otherwise?
Yeah, so I think, I mean, hockey and otherwise, like, we also as coaches have to do a lot of training every year to be
Yeah.
a coach, and so a lot of that too. It's funny. It's played out in USA Hockey training that I have to do every season. But I just remember my first season with my daughter, my older of the two daughters, and she loved the clinic she was in to play hockey, and then it was time to go to practice, and she was terrified. Like, she did not want to go. She didn't know anybody, all of that. And I had to like, I kind of had to bribe her, like, okay, fine, you don't have to go. I told him I was going to coach. I have to go there and be on this. You just want to come with me. Okay, fine, I'll come with you. So okay, but maybe we should bring your stuff just in case you want to do it. Okay, fine, you can bring my stuff. And then it was funny. We were driving there and we're talking, and I said, "Oh, and I also was reading something about, when it's kind of good for kids when they're done doing something like playing hockey to have some chocolate milk." She goes, "I'll go on the ice." It's like, it was so funny. And then she was nervous when we got there, but as soon as she got on the ice and like was skating with the other girls and seeing all the fun things that we were doing, um, she never questioned going to hockey practice again. So right now, most of what I do in terms of hockey is coaching. Like, I do occasionally play pickup hockey, but I had stopped a few years ago because of an injury. So I don't have time to do it consistently. But one of the reasons that I keep coaching my girls is because I want them to be able to see a female on the ice doing that sort of thing. Like, it's really it's like a lot of time to be a hockey coach, like a head hockey coach. Um, and like I said, my son plays and my husband has been coaching my son, so we are all very busy during the hockey season. But it's really important for me to see them, to let the girls see somebody doing that, because there are definitely a lot of dads out there. There are more women that are coaching in our association. I've never coached with one. But there are some of us out there, but it's just I really want them to be able to see somebody doing that, and I have fun with them. It's a lot of work, but it's really fun also. So, and it's interesting too, because I bring a different perspective to things than the male coaches. Like I co-head coached with a really great coach this season. Um, but I had a really good pulse on what was going on with the relationships on the team. And we, had some drama. There are, 9 and 10-year-olds. And he's like, I don't know what's going on. I'll figure it out, and I'm the one that's in there, okay. We work it out, and he's just like, I don't even know. I like he was completely oblivious to this stuff. I'm like, no, I could see it coming. This was happening. So anyway, it really is the girls. Like I have enjoy it, but I just want the young girls to see it, and because I think if you can see it, you can do it, which is
Yeah.
the other reason why in the book it was really important to me to show the diverse like kids in there, because we know that there are more, you know non-white kids coming into the sport, and
Yeah.
certainly there are barriers to that. But I think when you can see it like that, it's just one more reason for you to try it as a kid, maybe.